your lick back. Get your lick back. If a nigga owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your issue splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX. J-Way. I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless. I'm gone. Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck. Give me that. To the trends. See you, Lee, be the band.
Afternoon and welcome to another episode of Corner to Copa. We are here. It is now, the regular season is now over. And thank God, we don't have to start the off season stuff just yet. We got more baseball to go. But today the Tigers lose by a score of 4-3. They had their C lineup out there, and I didn't watch a ton of the game. The Lions were on. I had a post game to do. Been a long day, but as we promised, we are back with a post game and a postseason preview. Coach, how you feeling?
Let's see. Just kind of indifferent. The end really kind of tainted the momentum for the first couple of months, and there's been a lot of outside discussions and some other things we'll discuss later on as well that were brought to attention as of last night and this morning. So, yeah. But they're in. So, yeah.
So as it stands, it regardless of the outcome on our end, it would not have met. Wait, no. Did Cleveland lose? Let's go back. How did I fail to get that part of it? Oh, it's tied. It's tied in the bottom of the ninth. So I can't quite say. Make a point about whether or not this game mattered and one way or another. But either way, we are going to play Cleveland. We're going to be playing Cleveland. I think it just came down to whether or not we play them in Cleveland or Detroit. But at this point, it doesn't matter. Detroit lost, so Cleveland will win the division. Now, like I said, we no Riley today, no Torque today, no Torres today, no Torque. I mean, no Skubal today, no Dingler. How would you, if you were a manager, knowing that we did not control our own destiny, how would you have played that? Do you throw Skubal out there knowing that he's going to have to pitch game one? Do you throw out your A lineup in the last game of the season, knowing we don't control our own destiny?
I mean, you don't start Skubal. That's the prudent thing to do because you're going to need him for the series. Now, I would have started all my regulars today. Nothing changes. So what? It's the last game before the playoffs. You're only getting one day off. I want these guys seeing as many pitches as they need to and staying locked in. This isn't really a time to just take a step back, take a exhale in relief. Last year was the "we're just happy to be here" moment. This year, there was an expectation. You set the bar for the first 3.5 months of the year with your massive lead in the division, and at the end, you didn't win it. So you're kind of coming in on some downward momentum, and it's tough to really get behind and have the confidence when everything that has gone wrong, could have gone wrong, has gone wrong in the last month or so. But we'll see. You need Skubal for the start of the series, and hopefully these guys don't get thrown off by the late night festivities the other night.
Well, they'll be over their hangover by Tuesday, so we don't have to worry about that. But let's pull up the playoff standings right now. As it stands, well, it's not going to change regardless as far as who wins the division for Cleveland because we already lost. So As it stands right now, we'll be playing the Cleveland Guardians in Cleveland in the wild card series. All of those games will be played in Cleveland, and we'll have our ace on the bump. However everybody feels about that. But that's what we got going on. The Yankees. So you said the Yankees and Toronto are playing right now. Not against each other, but
Well, Toronto's going to win. They're up 9 runs in the last inning, and Tampa Bay's hitting. So Toronto's going to get the number 1 seed in Toronto, and then the Yankees will be the first wild card number 1 team.
okay. So, all right. So that's that. Let's get into. Do you have anything that you want to touch on before we get into some of the previews and desired lineups and all that good stuff?
Do we want to do the thing we sent each other this morning?
What we sending?
About AJ?
Yeah. Okay, so let's get right into that. You teased a little bit earlier, but I'll let you introduce it. Go ahead.
So it was reported, I think, by one of the team beat writers, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't announced until today or last night, actually, after they had clinched, that the Tigers have agreed in formality, or at least in good faith, an extension with AJ Hinch. Details are still being finalized, but they'll make a formal announcement here in the upcoming days. But they had reached, I guess, a preliminary deal the night they had lost in Boston, which is probably why we saw Illich down there in person over the weekend. But they felt the timing was ill-advised to announce it on the night where they lost on a walk-off. But no details yet have been released, but they're pending with formal announcement. Your thoughts?
I'm indifferent. I mean, I think it speaks volumes that they had to postpone and wait on it because, the team was, shitting the bed, and at the time, obviously, the organization or the fan base was not the highest on AJ or anybody over there. So, I look at it. I always look at it from a glass half full side of things, just because. Before AJ won, we had Ron Gardenhire, we had Brad Austin, we had a bunch of guys that never won anything. One thing that we can say about AJ Hinch is he has turned things around. He has created a winning culture, and has we've kind of set ourselves up for the future to be competitive every year, and I mean every year for the foreseeable future. So. I think he's got some work left to do, and I think he's got some work left to do. I think that if you get sent home in the first round this year, you certainly look at that decision a little bit differently. But I think that if we can find a way to escape this Cleveland series with all the madness that they have going on, hey, more power to them. Do what you got to do. You put yourself in the second round the last 2 years, and then you swiftly move forward into building a championship team and finding a way to lock down Tarek Skubal or somebody long term that you can build around. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I feel like there was what else was it? Yeah, it'll come to me later, but yeah, I can't.
How many years do you think they came to an agreement with, just out of curiosity?
So here's the thing. The last time they had an extension, we don't know where the timeline is, right? That was the thing that I couldn't remember, it's because that initial extension in December of 2023 was for a whatever amount. So I don't know if it was. So we don't know if his contract was expiring. Honestly, they could be extending it. They could be extending it. Whatever. How they negotiate the deal, and if we sign him now, we can get him for a cheaper amount, and yada yada yada. So we don't know what the timeline is and where he was in his current extension, but I would venture it's at least 2-3 years, right?
Yeah,
extending him 1 year would make no sense if it was expiring this year. It's got to be multiple years, and if they were planning on extending him like for 5 years, I would hope they kind of pull the reins back, like, let's not put him on through 2030 or anything like that, because we did almost miss the playoffs. Like, I think we find a way to miss the playoffs. Once again, things are a little different.
He was on an expiring deal. His extension in 2023 was through 2024 and this year.
Okay. 4 and 5. Okay. So he was on an expiring deal. So this deal should be, I don't know, coaches' deals. If it was a player, I could tell you. A coach, I just don't know. But what is your feeling on it?
It sounds like they're going to give him like 4 years plus. I mean, things like hope to keep him a Tiger for a very long time, and could be something crazy. Could be something like 6, 7, 8 years or something like that. But I mean, that's not
what you wanted to sign. That's certainly not what you wanted to announce in the middle of a crash. So yeah.
Yeah. Put it this way: to get Craig Counsell from the Brewers, the Cubs paid him 5 years, $40 million. That was the most recently high-profile hire last offseason.
So you think that AJ's you think this AJ deal is going to be a deal that tops that?
It could be about 5 years, 50.
Okay.
Or something like that. Yeah, I mean, now they haven't gotten to the World Series yet, but so that would be kind of crazy if you're going to pay someone like Counsell, who's got a playoff pedigree as a Brewers head coach, and has got a pretty good Cubs team now.
Well, so does AJ.
Brewers ain't the Tigers, I can tell you that much. They're the number one team in the National League for a reason.
Okay, yeah, they are now. He doesn't coach for them now.
Yeah, but I'm saying compared to us, we're the last wild card in. There's a bit of it.
When I say playoff pedigree, he's won a World Series already.
Oh yeah, but I mean, asterisk, they cheated during that, so I throw that out the window.
They won.
Sorry, without cheating though, I don't count it.
I
mentioned that. I've said that before. Is that 2 year, 3 year run where they had to essentially vacate wins and all that, and were suspended, and all the $1 million or $2 million owner fine, the largest max under the CBA can be issued to an owner. Come on.
I mean, I get it, but yeah, that's one of those that it's subjective. It's either you're on one side or the other, I guess. So yeah, that's that. AJ is going to be our manager for the foreseeable future. So we're going to see how things progress. I mean, I'm just going to say this now before we even get to the closing remarks. Cleveland, they are blessed. They had the luck of the Irish. Eventually that runs out. Eventually you're going to have to just legitimately. They have the lowest team average of any team that's ever made the playoffs in Major League history or something like that. Like eventually that luck's going to run out, in my opinion. But they will be at home. They will have that advantage. even though the Tigers have swept the Guardians at home. So with the Tigers putting in their C lineup and the Guardians going all in, it just kind of shows who's more confident about where they want to play. Cleveland said we want to play at home by any means necessary. But let's get to the first break, and then we will talk the batting line, potential batting lineups. All right, so let's get this screen up. Stop that one. Mr. Rogers. There we go.
Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
All right, looking. Oh, can you see the whole thing? Looks like I can't get around hiding everything else. So yeah, let's see here. All right, so we have potential batting lineups, lefties and righties. Let's get right into it. So we got Jahmai Jones starting lead off, and that would be at DH. We got Gleyber Torres batting second at second base. You got Riley Green in left field. You got Torque in the 4-hole. You got Dingler at the 5-hole. I got Carpenter at batting seventh in, what's that, right field? Yeah, right field. I got Andy Ibanez playing at third, Javi Baez at short, and Parker Meadows batting ninth in center field. Thoughts?
Well, I mean, we do have to throw this in there, and it'll be a decision probably made on the day of. But Tuesday will be the first day that Colt Keith will be eligible to come off the 10-day IL.
Right.
So I know we talked about that offline earlier during the game. That
I made this lineup before that discussion was had, but
my only thing is Ibanez has been so bad this year. And frankly, Zach McKinstry splits against lefties are significantly better. I'm starting him over Ibanez, wherever he's playing. Doesn't matter. I think that's my only trade-off.
Okay. And I contemplated throwing him in there. I just could not see him. If you're going to have Carpenter out there and you're going to have Meadows out there, I just couldn't see him adding another lefty into that lineup. I tried to make it a little bit realistic, because right there you got Green that's already in there. So you got Green, Carpenter, you would have McKinstry and Meadows. So what is that? 4 or 5 guys that are lefties? I just couldn't see him jumping out the window and throwing McKinstry into the mix like that. But okay, so you would be, of course, you're on board with Carpenter being in there. How do you like him in the 7-hole?
I mean, it's interesting. I think AJ just loves that left right, alternating combo because it makes his pinch hitting swapping fairly straightforward. But I mean, Dingler's kind of always been around that 5, 6, 7 hole throughout the year.
Usually not 5. He's usually at 6, but I figure you raise him up. He's probably pretty good against lefties, and
yes,
because Dingler, rarely does Dingler just look just bad. I don't think I can ever look at an at bat and say, "Wow, he was just terribly overmatched." He's always gonna put the bat on the ball.
And if he does, it's limited to like one at bat, and he makes his adjustment and he figures it out throughout the game. And we might see the box score, and it's 1 for 4 with a single. But if you look at his, at bat progression, he gets fooled the first time. He's just as smart as a hitter, is what makes him such a great play caller and game manager behind the dish. So that's why, like, to your point, he never goes through extended periods of slumps. He's just a natural at it when it comes to the think type of it.
Yeah, and the other reason why you're not going to see Bañez out of the lineup is because he messed around and went 3 for 3 today with a walk. So you're stuck with him. He's
this game meant nothing today. When you rolled that lineup out, you're not certain schoolable. Everything today means nothing. So
no doubt about it. But recency bias and AJ just, getting to be the smartest man in the room, there's just no way it's going to happen. I think he batted third today and played first against a righty. Wasn't the starter a righty?
I couldn't tell you. No idea.
Yeah, I could be wrong on that, but yeah, I mean, he was trying to find a way to get Torque out of the lineup. I mean, Torque plays every single day, so it didn't matter if Ibanez went 0 for 5, he was willing to live with that. I mean, Jones got the day off today. I mean, easily could have started Jones if he wanted to, just because. But at any rate, let's get to the right-handed side of things. I think this one is a little bit more cut and dry here. Against right-handed pitchers, you got Parker Meadows in the leadoff spot. You got Torres playing center field, of course. Torres at second. Carpenter at right field. Riley Green batting fourth and left. Torque in the 5-hole. Dingler at 6. McKinstry, and that would be third base. You got Jahmai Jones. Might as well just play him every day. If he has a bat that high, even if he's lower down in the lineup, I feel like he's got to be playing every day at this point. And then you got reluctantly, I put Sweeney, number 9, playing shortstop as the possible better option than Javi up against righties. What are your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, there's really no. It's pretty. It's about as cut and dry as that's going to get right there, honestly.
What about the order? Anything that you would change in the order?
I think you still would roll out Jones at the top of the lineup. But I think they're interchangeable, honestly. Both those guys do similar things in terms of, getting on base and causing a little bit of chaos on the base path. So it just depends on what, I guess, you want from side of the plate to start with. So I get why Parker would lead off as a lefty. You get more of him against the righty up there than you would Jahmai Jones. But, like you said, recency bias, Jones is hot. So
yeah, I mean, I think if there's any questions about, I don't want to waste 4 at bats on Jones, and he's considerably worse against righties. It's like, okay, put him in the 8-hole. He's going to get a few less at bats. If you can't trust Parker Meadows at this point to have 4 strong at bats, I mean, bunt the ball. That was our first bunt of the year. And we might have had a couple this weekend, but we definitely had one, and it was a bunt single from Parker Meadows. And we talked about this last week. His on base percentage to be a speedy center fielder that we would hope to be at the top of the lineup. It's got to be higher than 280 or whatever it is. So whatever you got to do. But if Parker Meadows can't give you 4 strong at bats at the top of the lineup with a lefty righty split, we got bigger issues about what to do. But yeah, so that's that is the potential batting lineup.
And I would say this just for the righty side, just because we've already mentioned it. With a healthy Colt Keith, obviously Sweeney's out on the roster. McKinstry would be starting at short, and then in that scenario, it would be Colt starting at third, and he'd still have Gleiber at second.
Yeah, so that right there is going to make the lineup even better. you eliminate any weak links there. Because I was like, damn, Sweeney after all this is still the starter. But yeah, that's only because Keith is hurt right now. And yeah, so as it stands right now, when Keith comes back, Sweeney is off the playoff roster, or is it Bond? Yeah.
I think it's just Sweeney because he just has done so very little with his opportunities. And to your point the other week, he's been the first call up 90% of the time for this year. So Andy at least can potentially do something a little more against lefties, although he's struggled, regressed a bit this year, hitting still only like 265 or something like that against lefties. But, he's been there in the playoffs for us last year, that clutch hit in Houston. So recency bias against that. He's got the experience and knows how to deliver in key situations. So I would lean that Andy stays and Sweeney gets cut.
Yeah. I think that he's still going to lean on, because Andy, he hasn't been great, but he pulled a couple towards the monster that they snagged, and then, like I said, he went 3 for 3 today. So I'm just saying, AJ's gonna look at it like, see, that's what he needed. And so yeah, that's the no-brainer. You have a nice little bench right there with Malloy, Jones potentially if he's not playing every day. Who else would be on the bench at that point? Javi. Well, no. Yeah, no, it'd be Javi. Yeah, it's gonna be Javi versus righties. Who else? If Keith's starting. Yeah, Malloy, Jones. Jeez.
Well, Malloy and Perez would be their first two.
Perez. I'm forgetting. Yeah, that's
those
the big.
Those would be your first two
in the room.
guys. Yeah.
Right. So the elephant in the room is that Perez is not on either one of these lineups.
Him and
switch hitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously he's a switch hitter, so you can't justify, weak side. They're both supposed to be strong sides. Did Perez have a hit today? Let's look into that.
Those two guys would be my first two off the bench options. I mean, I know Wenzel is technically a pinch hitter, but I think ideally I'd like to keep the split, JHM against lefties and get Perez in there against righties hitting as a lefty.
Yeah. And it's crazy because actually this year he's got a much higher OPS as a righty versus lefties. Like it's significant. His OPS all around is a lot higher this year. He's hit a lot more home runs in a lot less games. But yeah, oddly enough, he's hit for more power from the right-handed side of things. So, but either way, he's not a bad. He's a great option off the bench as a defensive replacement. Maybe if you want to. If Jemiah's not getting hits early in the game, you bring in Perez and you automatically get stronger defensively as well. So that's that. Let's talk about pitching wise. Top three. Certainly because the wild card series is a 3-game series. So if we go 3 games. We know we're rolling out Scuba in game 1. Who do you have going in 2 and 3?
Casey Mize, for sure. And then I think game 3, you kind of do a total bullpen opener day. You can mix and match. I'm not sold on Flaherty. I think he might still be a potential option is like a 2-3 inning guy, but he's clearly not been able to show any consistency. You don't know what you're going to get, and I think, frankly, by starting him, you're potentially putting yourself behind the 8 ball before you could get one time through the batting order on your own end. So I think with that and the fact that, Kyer Montero has shown improvements over the last, I'd say 6 or 7 outings since coming back. His efficiency's been better. He's limited his walks. I think he's shown what he's capable of when he can command his pitches better and limit his walks. Because at first, he was wild. It was like 3, 4, 5 walks a game consistently going back to the start of last year. And that was what killed him. Then next thing you know, he'd give up a home run and a double, and there's 4 runs because he had a couple walks and guys on base. Lately, though, he's had limited to like 1, maybe 2 walks, but his strikeout ratio has gone up too. He had 7 Ks, right? His last appearance in Boston, 4 1/3, 7 Ks.
You're talking
Kiter.
about Kiter Montero, yeah.
Yeah. He looked good. I think you got to use him. He was good last year too against Cleveland. 3 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. He has been there when they've kind of needed him almost unceremoniously. So,
yeah. I can see it going. I think I'm 50-50 with Flaherty. I can see them rolling him out there for game 3 with a short leash. He tends to show his hand one way or another, whether he's going to have it. His last 3 outings have not been terrible. Yes, the last 3 outings haven't been terrible, although he didn't make it 5 innings. Only 4 earned runs in his last 3 games. So I'm not mad at that. Obviously, you see that big 8 ball down there on August 24th. But other than that,
it's just tough because he labors through a lot of innings. Yeah. That's the only problem. His pitch count gets so high.
Yeah, we don't see the, obviously they don't have a pitch count on this graphic we got up right here, so that you miss some of the story in it. But also in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll say 5 outings, or we'll say 4 in his last 4 outings, he's only given up 1 home run. So, and that
okay,
these 3, okay,
I got pitches. So we'll say from what do you got? August. We'll say after that horrendous 24th start, right. 5 2/3 on August 30th, 101 pitches.
Okay.
That had 2 walks as well. The White Sox 4 1/3 was 83 pitches with 2 walks. Yankees 5 innings, 99 pitches. Home game against Cleveland, 5 innings, 95 pitches. And then his final start at Cleveland, only 4 1/3 and 83 pitches, but had no walks, but did have that home run, the only one he gave up this month.
And was that a multi-run home run, or was that just a solo? Can you tell?
I think it was a it was a 2-run home run. Valera homered with Rocchio on board.
Okay. So they kind of did most of their damage in just that one swing. So, yeah.
And then killer fashion, Quan hit an RBI single to top it off.
Okay. Of course he did, right? So yeah. They were willing to possibly bring him in a semi high lever situation and out of the bullpen. Or that was on the table possibly. So tough to say where they're at with their trust for him, but it could be a bullpen day. We've got a few guys that I have some trust instilled right now that could combine. I like Herter right now. I like Melton right now. I like Montero right now. I like Holton right now. Unfortunately, right now, Finnegan scares me, and Montero is a flip of the coin, but I feel like he's gotten out of some trouble as of recently. So, Vest, it's funny how bullpen guys, it just goes back and forth. He saved a couple games. He's closed out a couple games, the Boston game and that final game in Cleveland. But before that, major implosion. So who knows? Mm-hmm. Let's get to the final break and we'll see what's
Talk
after this.
arms.
You said what?
We'll talk arms.
Talk arms. Okay, yeah. Let's get to it. Yeah. Okay. Set it off, Coach. What you got to talk about?
Well, I mean, there's going to be a list of some pitchers that ain't going to be on it.
Okay.
So I think who are two for you? Actually, you know what? Let's go three. We're three for you right now that do not deserve a spot and opportunity, at least in the wild card round.
You want three names?
Yeah.
Paddock. Damn, can it be Paddock all three times? No. I need a list. Let's bring up a list because I didn't really think too hard on that. Because they're not cutting down the roster and they can't bring anybody up. So man, let's see. So so the playoff roster, how does that work? Anybody from the 40 can be on it?
Yeah. Probably.
Damn, you type fast as hell.
Let's see here. Well,
Alex Cobb.
So it's 26 players. Eligibility is determined by specific criteria, including being on the 40-man roster or 60-day injured list by August 31st. So that's why they call it the non-waiver trade deadline, is because the waiver deadline, then any of those signings, as in years past, has occurred after that are not eligible for the postseason roster. So that happened when we got Matt Stairs that one time.
Matt Stairs? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a longtime Royal.
Hey.
Players on the restricted list are also eligible unless they've been suspended for PEDs. Player acquired after first are ineligible for postseason play.
I'll tell you what, most of these guys on the 40 are injured right now. Seawald is somebody that I can go with or without, to be honest. He wasn't great. Tanner Rainey, the guy that we just picked up, I think he pitched today. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention, so I don't know what to speak of. I really wish I would have saw more Dylan Smith. Him getting hurt, kept him from being more active because he was kind of up and down. They were trying to work in some of these other guys, but I highly doubt that we see him. I can see Jose Urquidy coming back. He didn't look bad to me.
No.
But, Drew Summers, no. Yeah, I could see them going Urquidy for Seawald or going. I can see Hannafy jumping over Paddock. Other than that, maybe Bailey Horn was cool from what I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paddock. He gave up all 4 runs today. Everybody else did their job. I didn't watch it per se to be able to fully break things down, but all things considered, not a dog, complete dog shit outing. But yeah, what are your thoughts? I'm pulling up Bailey Horn's Savant page because I really don't know. Well, do you need the 40-man up?
I mean, I'd go with. I agree with Paddock. I think SGL is another one.
He's hurt, so
yeah, but
I didn't realize he was hurt. But yeah, it looks as of right now he's on the list, and he's been hurt all year, really.
The stretches we had him, he'd show some flashes, and then he'd go 2-3 games where he just shit the bed.
Yeah, he got torched. Last time we saw him, he got torched. Yeah. So that's the lasting impression.
So if you're not counting him because of injury, I mean, frankly, I do not care to see Tommy Canley. I just don't. I don't.
Yeah. No, I
Don't
feel
care what
you.
he's done this. I don't care what he's done this week. The last month or whatever he's had has been one of the worst stretches I have ever seen, and yet this bum somehow continues to get opportunities.
He had one bad month, if we're being real, but I think he got one of these days he got touched up. No, he blew the game one closeout, right?
Yep.
The bottom of the ninth, which is a weird place for him to be. But realistically, do you see him getting held off the roster? Veteran pitcher for the Yankees.
That's the scary part. That's the scary part.
If you genuinely, well, this is your decision, so you have the right to say Tommy Canley off. So who do you pull up from the minors right now to replace Tommy Canley that you genuinely feel comfortable?
If you want the extra left, you can. I mean, I'm fine with Bailey Horn for him.
Oh yeah, okay.
Gives him another lefty because, frankly, I'm not. Drew Summers has been an abysmal train wreck, but they've got no one else down there for the last 3 weeks that he's not been DFA'd or demoted because they have no one else. All the other lefties have been exhausted on. So, but yeah, I would take him over. If you're carrying an extra lefty, Summers still moves to the bottom of all the lefties they would have then.
Okay, so Bailey Horn. So you got Tyler Holton. How many lefties do you have on the bullpen roster now? Is it just 2, or is?
Well, are you counting Drew Summers as third?
Is Summers up right now?
I thought he was.
Yeah, I don't think his name. I don't think there was minors by his name.
Because he got called up. We set him down. We called him up again, and I don't think he's been sent down since. But I know he hasn't pitched in a while.
Well, actually, right now you got right now Summers is up, and no, he's down. He's got minors by his name. I hate the name. I hate that term. Minors by his name. Yeah. So you got So right now he's in AAA, we'll say, and Horn is in AAA as well. So right now we got Rainey up. I think you can go either way. We really didn't see him. So you'd have to bring up, Alex Lang, who hasn't pitched a lot. So I don't think you trust him there to bring him up. But that would have been a cool option if he had just came back and set the world on fire. But so here's Bailey for the folks that are listening on the audio side. We got Bailey Horn. He's got an above average fastball velocity, and he's been avoiding barrels. That's the 2 good things, but below average whiff rate, doesn't really strike people out, and it looks like he's got some trouble with walks as well, which is not appealing. I'm not sure what his splits are, but I would certainly hope that he can at least get lefties out. Do they put the splits on Savant? I think they do somewhere, but I don't really use them. I don't really use them for splits.
I got you. Hold on.
Yeah, there's a split tab. All right, he is versus lefties. Yeah, see, this is why I don't like Savant splits.
All right, I got him. All right, lefties. He is. Oh wow, lefties are hitting 364 against him. 8-22 with 6 runs, 1 home run, 6 RBIs, 4 walks to 4 strikeouts. He is actually 3 for 21 against righties, 143 with 3 walks and 6 strikeouts, 0 slug.
So that's interesting. 0 slug. Okay, so that's actually interesting. So when you say extra lefty, technically he's an extra righty.
Yeah.
So that actually works out. Hey, I mean, it now it's small sample size, so who's to really say? But I mean, it's pretty obvious he's getting torched. I mean, ain't no
Well,
telling who those lefties.
His at bats are
torched for his
even.
lefties. I'm saying.
He has had 22 against lefties and 21 against righties. So he's had 50-50 against both sides this year.
Yeah. But you see the shaded, when it's shaded like that, they're basically letting this doesn't even qualify. He hasn't thrown enough.
Yeah.
He's 10 games. So yeah, that's as far as if you want to get rid of Canley, yeah, you could certainly if Tanner Rainey stays the same, Seawald stays the same, you could replace Canley with Urquidy. You can go Bailey Horn. Chase Lee kind of fell out of favor. He was good for a while.
You know what's crazy though about Bailey Horn? With no one on base, batters are hitting 350 against him. With runners on, they're hitting 174. With them in scoring position, they're only hitting 188. And if they're in scoring position with 2 outs, they're hitting only $143.
So he needs to sweat it out. He needs to come in when somebody's on, when the bases are juiced.
He just bare knuckle white grips it to the finish line as soon as he's on the mound.
Yeah, he can't. He thrives in a place of chaos, I guess. So, yeah, you're not going to see Chase Lee up there. Strikes, you definitely not walking you, but yeah, not good. But he's 4-1. He had that nice little run, but yeah, he's that fastball velo 89. Yeah, get good. So yeah, we'll we're at the 46-minute mark. I don't even want to get into we've followed the Guardians to nauseum. We pretty much know what if you could give us a key player that needs to step up. Key player that needs to step up. Obviously, most of the team is struggling right now offensively. Give us one key guy that you want to see step up.
I'm going to give one from a hitter fielder and one pitcher. The hitter fielder I'm going to look at is I gotta say it's Parker Meadows. He's shown, when he first came back first week, he was hot, man, on fire, couple game multi-hit streak, home run, stolen base. I think he is the extra piece that they've kind of been missing to help turn their lineup over for the last half of the year where they've kind of regressed. Obviously, his defense, we know what he does there. It just helps stabilizes that corner outfield. He's got the best range in all of baseball, so that's a huge bonus. But him on both sides, both bat and the glove, but in terms of the pitching side, I gotta say it's Skubal. Did not look that great the last start, and then obviously had the scare against Miami. I'm not necessarily sure if he's 100% healthy, but boy, that start against Cleveland, when he was off, man, he was off by a lot, and it was very uncharacteristic of him to miss several pitches by a foot, or heaven's sake, hitting front in the face with the fastball, and that was significantly far inside. So, it starts with him. They have to win that first game. If they have any chance at all, they have to win that game. So, Skubal on the mound, my pitcher, and Parker Meadows, wherever he's batting in the lineup, but roaming center field.
Yeah, no, I agree with Skubal. That would have been mine too, just because he sets the tone. He comes out in game one and shuts them down. That takes a lot of pressure off our other guys. I feel pretty comfortable with Mize. I like the way he's kind of bounced back. He had a very rough start of the second half of the season, but overall he has rounded out his year pretty well. He finished at 14-5. with the top 5 win with the top 5 most wins in the American League, top 7 in all of baseball. I will take that out of my number 2 arm. If you would have told me that Skubal would have finished well over 500 and that Casey Mize had more wins at the end of the year, I would have took that all day. So yeah, starts with Skubal. On the hitter side of thing, yeah, I think that whoever is at the top, well, yeah, we might see Parker Meadows in a number of different places, but I think whoever is at the top of the lineup is going to be big. You see how much of a jolt it gives the team when Jahmai Jones starts the game with a home run or starts getting on base in general. But as far as if you want to pinpoint it to one individual guy, my person is Gleyber Torres. He had a great start to the year, and I think he was very big in there. I think he was a very big part of that. The team starting out hot. He hit a home run and immediately went on the injured reserve, on the injured list early in the year. But as soon as he came back, he got right to work and ended up being an all-star. And when it's all said and done, he is one of the most experienced, probably the most experienced player on the team. He played for the Yankees last year. He played in the World Series last year, and he has struggled down the stretch, and the offense has kind of followed that trend right along with him. I've been pretty impressed with his defense. He's made some plays that, in my opinion, are a little above the outs above average. It hasn't really shown on the stats, but he's been pretty sure-handed defensively. So yeah, I think that if we can get some production at the top of the lineup, because he's sat firm in that number 2 spot all year long, and was very, for a lot of times was very consistent and steady, moving runners over, hitting for a little bit of power, but more or less, taking, having good at bats, getting on base one way or another. So yeah, if we can get something out of him, that will be huge. And so do we have a start time? Do we have a tee time, as they say in the golf world, for the game 1 in Cleveland? Did you say it's going to be that early game on Tuesday?
That's kind of what I was looking at. So let's see here. They've got a bracket up, but they haven't listed it yet. But based on the fact that it's us in Cleveland and Boston, New York is going to be the other wild card game, I mean, it makes sense that they're going to put us first. Boston, New York being the bigger market. Makes sense for them to get the 6 o'clock game or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the National League is already set. They do have times. 3 p.m. will be game 2 of the scheduled 4 games on Tuesday. That'll be the San Diego Padres traveling to Chicago to take on the Cubs at 3 o'clock. And game 4, the final game of the night, will be the Dodgers hosting the Reds, who got in after the Mets' historical collapse of their own.
Imagine spending $600 million and he did everything that he could possibly do. I mean, this dude was a 30-30 guy. I don't know if you saw that. A little story about how he's managed to have such a not the fastest guy in the world, but he's definitely picked his spots and managed to swipe 30 bags and hit a bunch of home runs as well. So all that to fall apart and not make the playoffs, that is unfortunate for them. Sucks to suck. We'll see what happens.
They whooped our ass, so one last scene.
Yeah, they whooped our ass, but wasn't enough, obviously. So we'll see what happens with with Pete Alonso if he sticks around after all that. But yeah, we appreciate everybody that tuned in. We know it's not Super Bowl Sunday, NFL Sunday. So, and everything was wrapped up yesterday playoff wise. So I'm sure we'll catch some viewers on the flip side. MSU Detroit fan in the building. What's he talking about? McGonigal? Oh no! We were just gonna throw in the backups for the game. We should have called up Max. Well, I don't think we can do that, can we?
Yeah,
you got to find room on the 40. Yeah.
And
that would have been fun.
They'd have done that by August 31st.
Yeah. But yeah, let's not get ahead of it. We're not gonna see those guys until next year, but we will see them next year. We'll see what the Tigers got. We'll see what the Tigers got to offer the rest of this year. Just don't piss us off. He said, keep Lorenzo down. We don't have much for catching prospects outside of him and Briseño. Eduardo Valencia, one of the better hitters in all of the minor leagues this year. But stay tuned, because one of the main reasons why I wanted to start the Corner to Copa YouTube channel, which MSU Detroit fan, I need you to be one of the subscribers soon. We haven't really advertised it yet, but we will be doing a breakdown once everything cools down in the postseason and we starting to get into that little slow time. We are going to hit the ground running with a mass amount of prospect prospect profiles, and we are going to be releasing those strictly on Corner to Copa. That's going to be the only place that you can find them. We might tease one over here, so start subscribing to Corner to Copa. So it is the same when you look up the audio. It's the same exact name. We got to figure out how we can get it to pop up, because I have been trying to search it up and it doesn't come up immediately. But at any rate, in the meantime, subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube for the raw and uncut live videos. We're going to be bringing you some live reactions post game as we head into the playoffs. So, yeah. Coach, any parting words before we get up out of here?
Nope, but it is confirmed. We will be the 108 game Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday if necessary on ESPN, all 3 games.
108. Damn. Okay. All right. The work will just have to suffer. I don't think you twisted my arm on that one. Like you. Yeah.
I know.
Oh well. But yeah, tune in. We out.
Peace.
Get your lick back. If a nigga gon' do something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And